Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is accommodation in Belgium. In the last week you have learned how Sri Lankan government dealt with the tensions. Did they hear the words of Tamil groups? Not. So what happened in their country? So we have learned that they formed different political organizations and they demanded for regional autonomy, recognition of Tamil language, and so on. They have demanded many things. But the government did not hear the words of Tamil groups. So that's because in the year 1918 towards, by the 1918, they have formed many organizations. Such one organization is LTTE. What is LTTE? Liberal Tigers of Tamil Illam. So one such organization, many organizations, they fought war to get their recognition, to get their demands. They start to demand for a separate Tamil Illam, an independent state. But the government did not hear the demands of these groups, so that's because it resulted the civil war in their country. So that war continued for many years, around 25 years, they fought for this purpose. And what happened in their country? They resulted the hardship. Economically, socially, the people suffered a lot because of this war. So that was the condition in Sri Lanka because the government there did not accept the differences in their country. So in this topic, let us see what Belgian government done. So in accommodation in Belgium, we are going to learn how the Belgian government deal their tensions in their country. So here they amended their constitution 4 times in between 1970 and 1993. They amended their constitution 4 times. They amended their constitution 4 times. What it means, amend? Amend means improve or change in the constitutions. So they have their own written constitution. So in that they made some changes to solve their issues. So what are the arrangements they have done? The first one is equal representation. It means for both Dutch and French-speaking ministers, they have given equal representation in the central government. So for example, if in this parliament there are 24 ministers, 12 from Dutch-speaking ministers and 12 from the French-speaking community. So they have given, in the central government, they have given equal representation. So if any changes they need, if they wanted to implement any programs and policies in their country, majority of this group have to be supported, then only it will come out as a law. So the first arrangement they have done is equal representation in central government. The second one is many powers of the central government have given to state government. Many powers of central government have been given to state government. So now the state government is not a subordinate. It is not to have its own power. State government got its own power. Earlier it is a subordinate and it does not have much power like central government. But now what happened? Many powers of the central government have been given to state government. And what is the third arrangement? Here also the equal representation. In Brussels. The capital city also given equal representation. That means here also the Belgian government have given for both French-speaking and Dutch-speaking community have equal representations. In the central government, Dutch speakers accepted the equal representation. The same like here the French-speaking ministers also accepted the equal representations. And the fourth arrangement is, apart from this, there is a third type of government. It is known as community government. The third type of government is known as community government. So this government is elected by one language community. Which language community is getting majority vote, they can form this government. It does not matter where they live, in the Flemish region or in the Wallonia region, in which region, that doesn't matter, but they have to get majority vote. So that community can form this government. And what are the subjects they deal? Education, cultural and language matters are dealing by this third type of government. So these are the arrangements done by Belgian government to solve their tensions. You might feel it is a complicated one, but they could solve their tensions in the country. How they could solve the tensions? They were accepted the differences. They were respected and accepted the differences of the different communities. That was the reason they could solve their tensions in the country. So that's about accommodation in Belgium. Next topic is why power sharing is desirable. Desirable means important. Why it is important? Why power sharing is important? Power sharing is important because of two reasons. Let us see what are the reasons. The one is prudential. The one reason is prudential reason. It's known as a prudential reason. So prudence means based on careful calculations of gains and losses. Prudence means based on, that means whatever actions we are taking, whatever decisions we are taking, it will be based on careful calculations, gains and losses. So and in that, so what we are discussing about the first topic, for the first reason, prudential reason. So that means prudence means based on careful calculations of gains and losses. So how it is comes up prudential, in the prudential reason, it's saying that power sharing is helpful to resolve conflict. Power sharing is helping to resolve conflict. How it is resolved? By dividing the power among the social group, among the different levels of government and organs. It's by sharing its power like this, it is easy to resolve the conflicts among the people. So this is because it's known as a prudential reason. The first reason why it is important, because of the prudential reason. Prudential reason means based on careful calculations of gains and losses. So because of it resolve the conflicts, that's because there will be stability in the government. Otherwise, there won't be any stability. The government will be keep changing, and so that is because the people won't get any benefit of the government. So that resolving or solving by the power sharing. So that is the one reason, the prudential reason. So in the prudential reason, the one is it helps to resolve conflict, and the second one is stability of the government. The prudential reason, we are getting 2 points. The one is it helps to resolve conflict, and the second one is stability of the government. The second one is moral reason. Moral. In the moral part, it's saying that power sharing is a very spirit of democracy. How it becomes a spirit of democracy? Power sharing becomes a spirit of democracy. As we all know, we learn about many things about democracy. It always gives importance for the equal opportunities or equality among the people. So that's because here the dividing the power among the people, among the different social groups, among the different levels of government, it ensuring the equal opportunity for all group. So that's because it's a spirit of democracy. There's a moral reason. It's saying that power sharing is a very spirit of democracy. Then how it becomes a spirit? It always gives importance for the equality. It gives importance for the equal opportunities. So what is power sharing is doing? It's ensuring the equal opportunities by dividing the power. And not only that, we people have the right to elect the leaders. So we people have the right to be governed how we want it to be. So this is because it's saying that it's the spirit of democracy. So in this topic, why power sharing is desirable, we learn the two reasons why it is important. The first one is prudential. Prudence means based on careful calculations of gains and losses. So based on that it comes. And in this first reason, in the first prudential reason, there are 2 points. The one is it helps, the power sharing helps to resolve conflicts. The second one is it helps to keep the stability of the government. If there is a conflict in the country, if there is a continuous conflict, there won't be any stability of the government. So by dividing or accepting the differences of the country or the difference of the people, we can maintain the stability of the government. The second reason, moral reason, in that it's saying that power sharing is a very spirit of democracy. How it becomes spirit? We know that democracy always gives importance for equal opportunities or equality. So power sharing, by dividing the power among the organs, among the levels of government or among the social groups, it ensuring the equal opportunities. Another one is why it is a spirit. People, we are in a democracy, we people are electing the government or electing the leaders. So we have the right how we want it to be governed. So that's because it's very important. Power sharing is very important. The next one is forms of power sharing in a modern democracy. The next third topic is forms of power sharing. Forms of power sharing in a modern democracy. So in the olden days, we have studied from the 6th standard onwards. In olden days, during the kingship, all the powers lied in or rest in one hand or in one person. But in a democracy, it divides the power in different levels of government or organs and among the social groups like. So how it is, let us learn about forms of power sharing in a modern democracy. The first power sharing is how it is the power has been shared among different organs of the government. The first power sharing, the first form of power sharing is the power has been shared among different organs of the government. So what are the organs? Executive, judiciary and legislature. And this power sharing is known as the power sharing among the organs such as legislature, executive and judiciary is known as horizontal power sharing. What? Horizontal power sharing. Why it is known as horizontal power sharing? Because the three organs, which are the executive, legislature, and judiciary. These three organs placed at the same level. That means the status have given for these three organs same. But these three exercise different powers. They have placed the same level, they have given the status the same, but they exercise different powers. So that's the reason it's known as a horizontal power sharing. The power sharing among the different organs of the government is known as a horizontal power sharing because the three organs such as executive, legislature and judiciary is placed at the same level but it would exercise different powers. And here there are another arrangement among these three organs. Each organ, they cannot exercise unlimited power because each organ supervise or watch the work of others. Each organ, they can observe the work of each others. How it is happening? For example, we can take the legislature. In the legislature, there are many ministers. So that ministers are responsible of this body. They have to answer in this body. They are not free. And the work of the ministers will be watched by the executive and the judiciary. And another example, executive. Here the president is appointing the judiciary members. The president have the right to appoint, actually the president is employing or appointing judiciary members. What happening? These judiciary members have the right to observe the work of the executive. So this system is known as a checks and balance system. So this system is known as, in this we have learned, now we are learning about horizontal power sharing. So what is a horizontal power sharing? Power sharing among the executive, legislature and judiciary, that means different organs of the government, is known as horizontal power sharing. Why it is known as a horizontal power sharing? Because these three organs placed at the same level, but they exercise different powers. Not only that, each organ can observe the work of the others. For example, the ministers are responsible to the legislature body, they have to answer in the parliament. And even if the judiciary members are appointing by the executive, the judiciary member can observe the work of the executive. So this system we call as checks and balance system. So that's about the first power sharing, form of power sharing in a democracy, that is power sharing among the different organs of the government or horizontal power sharing. The second form of power sharing is at different levels of the government. Power sharing at different levels of the government. So that very easy to understand. We have our own country as an example. There are three types of government in our country: center government, state government, and third level of government, local government. So the power also has been shared among the different levels of the government. The center government for the entire country, and they deals with common subjects. State government, there are only particular province or a state, and they deal day-to-day administration matters. And third type of government, in different countries it is known in different names. In our country it's the municipal corporations and the panchayat or panchayati raj system. So this is like the power has been shared among the different levels of the government. Another example, community government. For the third level of government example is community government in Belgium. So this is the way the power in the modern democracy, power also has been shared among the different levels of the government. One is center government, second state government, the third is a local level of government. And next is the third point is power has been shared among the different social groups. Power also has been shared among different social group or among the social group. How it is happening among the social group. One sector, for example, one of the example of this that community government in Belgium. Here, each language community has been considered. The power has been shared among the language community, language social communities. Another example we can take from our own country, like reserved seats for women, reserved seats for the backward classes, reserved constituencies, or reserved seats in the colleges, in the schools, in the government jobs have given for the minority group and some backward classes. So this is the way we have considered some of the social groups in the society. So that means they also have their own power in the government. So this is the way the power also has been shared among the different social groups. The one example is community government in Belgium. In that, they have considered the three communities. The one is French, second one is Dutch, and the third one is German-speaking people. So they have power has been shared among these three social groups. In India, we can take many examples how the minorities and the backward classes considered by the government. And next is, the fourth one is, the power also has been shared among different political parties like political parties, pressure groups and the movement groups. The power also has been shared among different political parties, the political parties, pressure groups and the movement groups. How the power has been shared among the political parties. In a democracy, people have the right to form in any organizations. The people have the right to form organizations. So here the people have the right to form political parties. So they form the political parties. Once they form the political parties, they contest elections. They have the right to contest elections. If they won the election, they can form the government. If they lose the election means they can play as an opposition. So this is the way the political party having their own right in the country. So people in a democracy, people have the right to form organizations, and after forming the political party, they can contest. If they won the election, they can form the government, and otherwise they can play as an opposition role. And if they cannot win the election alone, what is another right have given for them? They can join with other political parties together to make their majority. So that is known as alliance. By forming alliance with other political parties, they can form the government. That is a coalition government. So this is the way the political party is getting right. So this is the way they are also having power. And what about the pressure groups? Students' organizations, laborers' organizations, there are different organizations, employees' organizations, is there? So this kind of organization is known as pressure group, those who are influencing the government decisions. So if any kinds of wrong actions comes from the government, so these type of organizations raise their voice, they highlight the issues, and they try to influence, they try to change the decision of the government. So that kind of organization is known as pressure groups and movement groups. And these pressure groups and the movement groups are the part of the political parties. Actually, it is go hand in hand, these two organizations. So these all have the these people, that means the people have the right to form these kind of organization, and they can influence the government if they found any wrong things from the government part. So this is the way the power has been shared among the political parties, pressure groups and the movement groups. So now we learned forms of power sharing in a modern democracy. The first one is power shared among the different organs of the government. That is known as horizontal power sharing because the three organs placed at the same level but they exercise different powers. And this system also known as checks and balance system. Why it is there? Each organ, they have the right to observe the work of the others. The second one is among different levels of the government, such as central government, state government, and third level of government. And the third one is power also has been shared among different social groups. The one example is we can take from the Belgium, there is community government. And from India, we can get many reserved for the backward classes, the minority communities, they have given reserved seats. And last one is the power also has been shared among the political parties, pressure groups, and movement groups. So this is about the lesson, power sharing. I think you all understood the topic. Today I explained accommodation in Belgium, why power sharing is desirable, and forms of power sharing in a modern democracy. Thank you.